The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation. Foundation. The Foundation. The Foundation.
The Foundation by Alive, APNL Holdings Limited, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, the Deposit Insurance Corporation, the Digital Transformation Unit, the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, Popeyes, and Ron's Electric Motors.
The Foundation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company. The Foundation on this absolutely gorgeous August 1st, live and in full effect. I know you guys didn't hear me yesterday. Don't fight me. Forgive me for that. I have a whole story I got to tell you. I got a story to tell, right? Say, call somebody. We can talk this story, right? It's a beautiful day, ladies and gentlemen. A little overcast this morning. I understand that August is going to be an extremely wet month. Talk to me. I looked at the forecast. It says between 8 days and 21 days of absolute rain. Sort of the forecast for the entire month. So, guys, get yourself prepared. Make sure you get your rubber shoes on. I'm talking to someone. I'm talking to a couple people, and they sound kind of stuffed up. I know about this. Don't fight me. They sound stuffed up. They sound like, I called my barber yesterday trying to be able to get the kids' haircut. And he says to me that I feel a little under the weather. I got wet in that rain. Guys, prepare yourself. Put your umbrella in the car. Make sure you get all those particular things. Make sure the kids are all kind of snuggled up and whatnot. Especially these kids who doing they do like the swimming thing. That's how my son got sick. And he made me sick. I mean, literally. And figuratively speaking, the whole thing, it's too wild. Talk to me, right? So that's what it is. Make sure you get your umbrellas out. Make sure you get your, if the kids got rubber shoes, whatever they do, make sure that you're prepared for this month, the month of August, as we slowly but steadily kind of creep out of this hurricane season. We want to ensure that we're taken care of and we're okay in those particular things. Well, you know that we're preparing ourselves for back to school also, right? You know that we're preparing ourselves for back to school. So it's very important that you be able to do that. Guys, if you're going to be texting me today, make sure that you text me on the line, 422-4796, the 827-0111. I just dropped those two phones in the shop, right? If you're following me, you saw my stuff. It's a whole story. We're going to talk about this thing, right? So let's talk about this, guys. So back to school, Carey's Fabric and Uniform Stores wants to get you ready for back to school. They have ready-made uniforms and uniform fabrics for almost every school in the Bahamas. At Carey's, find skirts, blouses, shirts, jumpers, boy shorts, and long pants, neckties, socks, and more. You can even have your uniform skirts custom made. Make sure you go with your daughter. Custom made. Get 10% off and shop our selection of school supplies. That's Carey's Fabric and Uniform Store on Mackey Street. Give them a call at 393-0758. That's 393-0758. It's custom uniforms. Make sure you do that, guys. It says that you can get your stuff, your uniform and your skirts and whatnot custom made. I remember when I was in school. I've been in school like almost 2 decades, more than 2 decades now. So things may have changed. This is when the girls wanted the frilly socks and the short skirts. Parents, go with your daughters to get their skirts. It's wild out there. Make sure you remember that? Go get your daughter, go get your skirts with them, right? Go down to Carey's and make sure you get your stuff taken care of. Absolutely gorgeous during this time as the back to school season. Everyone wants to be able to get yourselves prepared for back to school. You're doing all those things. If you are out there and you want to be able to get that done, and you want someone to be able to assist you with that in terms of advertisement and putting that stuff out there, guys, hit me up. 827-0111, 827-0111. Just leave a little message there. Don't fight me. Don't call it right now. 827-0111, 827-0111. We can be able to assist you with that. Or give us a call right here, 302-2300, 302-2300. April or any one of the beautiful persons will be able to assist you with getting your back-to-school stuff done. It is absolutely bananas. Make sure you pick up your Guardian newspaper, guys. The inflation is inflation high in near term. Food and non-alcoholic beverages prices up by 12%. Non-alcoholic beverages prices cost more than the alcohol. This is a wild thing. Where do we live? Is this Narnia? Ladies and gentlemen, the information's in there. Make sure you pick up the segment in the papers right now. You can find out what's going on in Grand Bahama today on Tuesday. You can be able to pick that up and see exactly what's what. Also, I got a lot of texts coming through my phone last night about this fire that was happening and the fire ablaze in the shanty town, and the information's in there. Bella's mom sentenced to 3 years in prison. Remember that story. Make sure you can be able to pick that up and read the paper, see exactly what's what. 19 passports was temporarily misplaced at the passport's office. This is bananas. It's Christmas time. I mean, it's summertime. Summertime. Before I go into anything, yesterday, Sammy Starr celebrated a birthday. Celebrated a birthday. He and my good friend out of Grand Bahama, TJ Theodore Mackey, he celebrated a birthday also. So I want to say happy birthday to both of you guys, and I pray that the Father continues to bless you and be able to keep you and watch over you as you move in the direction that He's called you to move in. I just pray that He lifts you up and you continue to be able to move on that path of purpose that He's called you to. So happy birthday to Theodore Mackey, TJ. Happy birthday to my good friend Sammy Starr, both of you guys, very good friends. I just pray that you're doing well. Sammy, I see you got all the pictures, all your long shirt, your coat, every picture you ever take. Every picture you ever take on Facebook. So I just pray that you're doing well and you enjoy your birthday, my brother. And I want to be able to say a good shout out to my very, very, very good friend, man, Juan McCartney. Juan Page just celebrated the birthday. Should I say this, Juan? You didn't put it on Facebook, so you don't fight Howard if I can say it, right? Page celebrated their third child coming into the world. Weekend was a wild weekend for me. I was all the way in Atlanta. I told you I'll tell you where I was going, right? I was all the way in Atlanta. It was, wow. I mean, like, what? WTH, right? Like, it was crazy. It was a bananas trip. It was extremely exhausting. One of those trips where I felt like, I felt this kind of an idea like, wow, people go through this. This is crazy. So over the weekend, I saw that Juan and Paige had their kid. I think Jody was the name, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't have my phone in front of me, guys. But congratulations, Juan and Paige McCartney, on the introduction of their beautiful, beautiful baby girl into the world. I pray that the Father continues to be able to bless you, man, and expand your territory as He expands your family, expands the opportunity, and you continue to be able to move in the direction that you called, with that very clear understanding that you have purpose. Guys, I love you guys. The Father just watches over you and lifts you up during this time. I hope you guys get well soon in preparation for number 4. This is wild. Did I just say that? One, you got one more. You got one more to get you, boy. I got you. You got one more, and then we can see exactly what's what. Guys, it's a beautiful day. I want to talk about a few things out there, man. I have a scheduled guest coming in at 12:30, but my heart kind of fell this weekend. I'm going to open up the lines in a few seconds for you guys to kind of give me a call. My heart fell this weekend as I read through the papers and I saw some stuff. I want to be able to read a little taste for you. Yesterday's paper, it says a 40-year-old woman was sexually assaulted in separate instances in New Providence over the weekend. This was the police report indicated. So the girl was playing with her friends on Saturday afternoon outside of the Lazaretto Road, and the residents driver of a white Nissan Skyline beckoned to her to get outside of the vehicle, to get inside the vehicle, according to the information given to her. This really broke my heart. That broke my heart, right? That broke my heart. And I'm looking at this, and the story actually goes into, if you read the story yesterday, it starts to talk about similar instances where there has been this kind of perpetration of sex, right? This very clear. I don't think there's any two ways that we can say this. This is rape. Can we say that? It's very clear. This is rape. This is forceful, intrusive, unwarranted, unsolicited rape. This is what this is. And this is an absolute travesty. I think with the greatest degree of sobriety, as we speak, not shaking, very clear, this is rape and it is wrong. I want to be clear about that, because I know you guys don't like me to talk like this, but there seems to be this thing, an insatiable desire that's roaming our land to and fro, that has identified individuals weak and susceptible to accept their mandate and shift the context and the continents of who we are as a people. This is not who we are. Now, there'll be calls that indicate, oh, Howard, man, people have been getting raped for a long time. People have been getting murdered for a long time. But that has not been the genetic makeup of who we are as Bahamians. Can I say that? That has not been, there's always the exception to the rule. But this is not the makeup of who we are as a people. Now, I don't know whether or not this is action. I don't know if that depression leads you into this sort of a susceptible spirit to the idea of any and everything. I don't know what this is. I feel about this. And talk about it with this sort of sobriety and very clear understanding that there is something going on beyond the physical. Can I say that? Is it okay that we say that? And it's spilling into different regions and subsectors. It's spilling into this sort of a concept and idea that other spaces and places, you're seeing these amplified versions of debauchery. Can I say that? A weekend was madness. I'm looking back and I say, what is this? And then I read the story right on, right? The story for you guys. Okay, say the child complied and was taken to an unknown location where she was threatened and sexually assaulted. This is what the police said. Adding that she was time later in an area off of Spikenard Road. By the graveyard? You mean in the southwestern area of New Providence? Let's dive deep into the story. Since the incident is reported to have happened shortly after 6 p.m. and police remain with parents to instill in their children not to talk to strangers when they are alone in a position. And the other matter is reported to have occurred at 3 a.m. Happened to a woman in Golden Isles Road. Come on. You see, you tell me that there ain't no correlation with what's happening with the undocumented, unregistered, unidentified shanty towns who have these undocumented, unregulated, unidentified, illegal migrants that are living in there. You tell me that there is no correlation. And we continue to be able to identify and amplify. Listen, this is expanding. I won't talk like this. I want to know from you your posture, your position. At 12:30 today, we actually scheduled to be Chief Superintendent Chrislyn Skippings, the Director for Public Relations for the Royal Bahamas Royal Bahamas Police Force, to talk about these particular things. Now, I saw some stuff come across my phone last night to talk about the fact that they've identified an individual. In less than 48 hours, they was able to capture this particular person. So we're going to find out a little bit more about that when we get back. But I want to talk to you about this before we get out. That's one incident, the incident of this kind of intrusion. But also, that's actually been projected into the world almost like a bat signal for debauchery. And not just from the Bahamas, from the entire Caribbean. There is a mindset in the free world, more specifically the United States of America, that there is no regard for rules, regulation, and the rule of law in our country. I mean, for those persons who kind of tiptoe into the darkness, they look at our country and say, well, we could try it over there. This story that has been reported as it relates to a tourist that's going to be coming in and try to kind of take out her husband. This is bananas. A murder for hire plot. I'm all the way in Atlanta, Georgia this weekend, and the thing came across my phone. And I said, I almost dismissed it. Fox News put it on there. I said, hold on, wait, hold on. I got to ask questions. I made several telephone calls. And this thing blew my mind. So I just want to kind of put that out there, guys. We got to talk like this. And I think it's important. A lot of persons keep telling me, Howard, why you talk like that, man? You just need to entertain us. I got this guy call me the other day and say, Howard, I like your show, but I don't like it. But I don't understand what you're saying. Yeah, man, you always just cause me to be thinking about my life deeper. I ain't want to think deep about my life. Hey, cousin, I can't fight you for that. I can't fight you. I think you should change the channel. It is that there comes a point, an inflection point, that we got to make a decision as to whether or not we're going to stay on this path of nothingness or we're going to rise above and do what it takes to be able to reclaim our families and country. Guys, let me take this quick commercial break and let us get into the depth and detail of what's happening in this country. This is The Foundation with Howard Grant. I want you guys to participate, be a part of the conversation. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the family of violence, 242-300-5720, or you can hit me up on the text 422-4796. The Foundation with Howard Grant. Be right back after this.
Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
At Alive, we believe that every goal is within our reach. We believe in the essence of our identity, the risk, and the boundless potential that lies within us. That's why our network is built by, owned by, and managed by us. Alive, believe in Bahamians. Visit bealive.com to get independence deals. Alive, believe in best.
At Popeyes, get the chicken, make it blackened, marinated in Popeyes blackened seasoning, that is. Our new juicy filet is fried to perfection without on a toasted brioche bun. Try it today as a combo or a la carte. Don't forget to choose at any one of our 3 locations.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Shopping is so rewarding with my Fidelity credit card. I get the best prices with price protection. Earn and redeem freedom points at my favorite stores. Get cash back. Get your Fidelity credit card today. Call 356-7764.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. The foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation, on this beautiful, absolutely gorgeous Tuesday afternoon. Get yourselves prepared. August the first day of the month, the 8th month of the 2023 year. I know that you guys are geared up and excited, right? Are you? It is sort of the first month stepping out of our official Jubilee time. And I believe that this is the time for us to kind of rise. Man, y'all just fight me, man. I don't know what you want from a talk show host, but that ain't in my heart, man. I'm not here to only entertain you. I want you to understand that I want to see reformation in the country, and I believe that we can do it. I really do. The indecency and the lack of opportunity and sort of the myopic concept, the small-mindedness that exists here that taps on the surface and surface of superficiality, we have to do better than this. I know we can. I know we can. And deal with these issues head on. Unless and until we identify this hell no to this particular thing, there's going to be a perpetuation, an expansion, an unyielding approach to this darkness. How you can rape a 9-year-old woman? This is a 9-year-old little girl. This is crazy. The line's open, guys. Please be a part of the conversation. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300, 5720. Hit me up on the text, 422-4796. I won't be able to read a little taste of this. They was able to put something in the papers this morning. Make sure you pick up your newspaper. And it says that the suspect, 42, in custody in relation to sex attack on girl, 42 years old. 42 years old. A 42-year-old man in Somerset was arrested on Sunday night in relation to the abduction and sexual assault of a 9-year-old girl on Saturday evening, police said. Police said that officers acting on intelligence when they arrested the suspect around 9:45 p.m. in the residence off Carmichael Road. The girl was playing with friends shortly after 6 p.m. on Saturday on the outside of the Lazaretto Road residence when the male driver of a white Nissan Skyline beckoned to her to get inside the vehicle, according to the information given to the police. The child complied and was taken to an unknown location where she was threatened and sexually assaulted, police said, adding that she was found in a short time later in the area off Spikenard Road. So it goes on to say the reports of the incidents have upset many in the community who are calling for stronger action to address sex crimes. Amid the high level of sexual violence impacting New Providence, a group of religious leaders who make up the Bahamas College of Bishops will meet to deal with this increased sexual assault on our women and girls. This is what Bishop Walter Hanchel, the chairman of the Bahamas College of Bishops, he actually said, and the story actually goes on to 8-3. Right? And so it's hard to really be able to talk about these. It's Christian Council to Seek on Sex Crimes and Issues. Now, I like this. I like the initiative because many times we actually take on the position to say that we don't see the Christian Council. Let's talk about that. We see murders relentlessly in these particular areas, sometimes right on the side of the church, sometimes in the churchyard, and we don't hear sort of this kind of cry from those men and women of the cloth, not the way that we expect, not the way that the regard that we give you, the sort of regard and the elevation that we look at our bishops and pastors and priests as over the years that we've been taught to look at. There is an expectation that you say something. You remember one time ago that when you see them, you even start to talk, sir? You remember one time ago that you even passed the church, you had a different reverend, I had my Hyundai hatchback. I had loud music and it always played my rap music and stuff like that when I was younger. And when I would pass the church, I turned it down. My Cadillac, same way, past the church, turned it down. Because there was a regard that we had for the men and women of the cloth. There was a regard that we had for you, to your participation in being able to ensure that we stay on the right path, the straight and narrow socially. Whether you profess Christianity or not, there was a very clear understanding that we have to respect these particular persons, this caliber, this ilk of people. Now, with the greatest degree of respect, Bishop Hanschel, we see this, we read this, we ingest it, we smile and hope that you take, but there's no real expectation for the reform that we want to see externally unless there's reform internally. See, because this reform that we're talking about in this year of Jubilee, someone talk to me. I mean, let's shoot the straight, let's hit the thing straight. Someone talk to me. In this year, as we continue to be able to go from one level to another, from glory to glory in this country with an expectation that the debts that we've been holding on to, the debts that have been on our necks as shackles as we move into the future, that those debts be released, people. There is an expectation that in this year, all this foolishness, this superficial talk that we've been talking, fall. Unless and until that there is a clear position within the Church of God, the body of Christ in our country, unless and until you take on the position to identify the deacons in your church, the pastors, the priests that continue to be able to thrust themselves and use their influence over the young women and men in those congregations, then how can we take you serious? I mean, this is just me. This is me. There is an external influence, obviously susceptible to some darkness, that has caused this man to take a 42-year-old indecent man. I don't know how you get go on home and go to sleep. Unless and until there is a concerted effort to eradicate the corruption, there's no expectation that these things won't happen in the future, but there should be significant. And the policing doesn't always have to come from the Royal Bahamas Police Force. The policing should come from the community. It should come from the authority that in those particular spaces. I just want to shoot straight with you and have a very clear conversation. It is time for us to take our country back. It's time. How can you destroy a 9-year-old child? This baby ain't even had children yet. She probably haven't even seen the flower of her time as yet. This is an indecent man, 42 years old. I don't know when his birthday is, but you know. For me, I mean, I gotta be decent. I heard people radio, but it's hurt my heart because I got 2 daughters. And we always put ourselves in that position. We always do. I find myself walking through the airport. Had an opportunity to be able to go to, like I told you, Atlanta, right? And it was a wild trip. I just wanted to be able to go up to the Bahamas Consulate in Atlanta. They actually had their Independence Gala that was hosted by Leslie Miller Bryce, and all those particular persons, her entire team that actually kicked this off. It was an amazing event, right? It was, top notch. It was very nice. And I was trying to be able to get some stuff set for the Invest Fest. I told you this. So I made a couple calls to the consulate, in Atlanta, and I spoke with Holly Pierce, Miss Pierce. And she put me on to Yasmin Miller. I think that's her last name, Miller, right? They set me up. They say, Howard, you should come. So I said, you sure? They say, Howard, you should come. So I did my best to kind of, mustered what I had and jump on the plane. I thought it would have been a very quick trip. I couldn't even get a ticket. I got a last-minute ticket. Talk to me. Oh, Jesus, God, this is a lot. I got a last-minute ticket. Was able to go on Western Air. Went from Western Air to Fort Lauderdale, caught a tri-rail from Fort Lauderdale to Miami, caught a plane from Miami to Atlanta, and the whole thing, it was a lot. It was a lot. But it was a beautiful event. And they had church on Sunday. They were supposed to have it at New Birth, but they changed that particular location. So when they changed it, I said, let me get back on this plane and get back to home. So I didn't have church on Sunday. I just tried to get back home for work on Monday morning, but I still missed the plane. I missed the connect because American Airlines was delayed. And I say all that to say to you that during that time, that space of being able to observe so much young people, right? I mean, they walk in with silk caps and slippers and, it's just, but the eyelashes are straight. So I'm looking at them, right? And I see the youth in their faces. And the only thing I could think of is my daughter. That's just what it is. I'm telling you the truth. The only thing I can think of is my daughter. I said, my daughter this size. My God, if she go out like this, oh my God, who let these people daughter out the house like this? I'm looking at them, and the only thing that I can assess through the eyes of a child is my child. That's all I could see. I was going on the plane, headed to Atlanta. And this guy traveling by himself, he had to be in about 13 and a half pounds wet. Slim guy, small guy, right? He sits next to me, right? And he has a baby. The baby bigger than him. The baby keep touching me. He jump in my lap, little boy, handsome little boy. And I'm taking care of the baby and watching over the baby and so forth and so on. Little baby getting to sleep on my lap and so forth. It blew my mind. I said, Jesus God, people cheering, jumping all over me. And the only thing I could see in this child was my baby. How can a 42-year-old man look at a 9-year-old and have any level of pleasure? Desire a 9-year-old child. These people need to be in the back of jail in China. And we know what they do in the back of the jail in China. I just want to be with you, man. These are the kind of conversations that we need to have for rectifying our country. I want you to be a part of that. I want you to be a part of these conversations. I want to be able to read a few of these things. I'm still holding on to be able to see Superintendent Skippings being able to come with us. She indicated that she would, but she said that she would be in a meeting today. So let me give her a call to find out whether she's still with us today. Guys, let me take this quick commercial break and be right back after this.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
Farmers everywhere, fishermen here and there, the Ministry of Agriculture, Marine Resources, and Family Island Affairs now has 30 services available online. Apply for your agriculture farmland lease, farmer's registration and license, and crawfish trapping permits online. All kinds of duty-free and import permits are now just a click away. Visit mygateway.gov.bs and grow your business today. My Gateway, making government work for you.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Let me ask you a few questions. What's your name?
Pam.
Favorite food?
Steak.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Is your money safe?
It's under my bed, so I guess so.
Are you serious?
Yeah, why?
Unless your money is in a bank or credit union that's a member of the Deposit Insurance Corporation, there's no guarantee it's safe.
Yeah, but what if something happens to the bank?
Your Bahamian dollar deposits are insured up to $50,000, so you'd still be ahead. Plus, your mattress might catch fire. Then what?
Man, those banks and credit unions are looking good right about now.
Visit the DIC's website at www.dic.bs. Protection for your money, guaranteed with DIC.
At Ron's Electric Motors, they repair and rewind all major brands of electric motors, including water pumps, generators, and the generator's back end, welding machines, electric lifts, air compressors, battery chargers, and more. They're equipped to handle up to 850 kilowatts and rewind up to 450 horsepower motors. They're conveniently located on the corner of Wolf and Clarence Roads and are open weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays till noon. They offer 24 hours emergency assistance. You can reach them at 242-356-0249.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation, on this beautiful day on August 1st. You guys are out there. It's a beautiful day. I'm going to read a few of these texts for you and kind of dive into it. Chief Superintendent Skippings is here with us, so she's going to be on the 1 o'clock hour, and then we're going to dive into it during that time. But let me see if I can read a few of these things and then get clarification. So this is good afternoon, Mr. Howard. We are being pressed on all sides with crimes, corruptions, and dishonesty in our society. Civil laws cannot fix the wrongs. I have one question. What is our moral foundation? That's a good question. That's a text that's coming through. Let me see if I can read another one. It says, good day, Howard Grant. I am so depressed. I listen to your show every day, but BPL been off in Angliston almost 2 hours now. No power, no radio, no internet, no generator. It's hot, and I have my old mama living with me, plus an infant. It's crazy. I guess I will have to listen to the rerun of your show later tonight. BPL needs to get it together. I had enough. This is wild. BPL, that's Angliston. Make sure you check him out. BPL CEO yesterday says too risky to run all the engines at once. Pintar tells the Prime Minister to bring the logs on Wärtsilä engine. Is it just me, or it seems as though that the Free National Movement is gaining sort of a... Is it just me? I recorded the show yesterday to send into the shop, into the studio, right? I recorded the show yesterday, and I talked about this. I talked about this sort of an idea. I couldn't do it because I had to go through TSA, and it didn't sound good, so I decided not to do it, right? But I'm looking at it, and the Free National take on this kind of position to identify and really strengthen their posture in terms of unifying their voice moving forward. I got to commend them. We talked about strategy. Is this their strategy? Their strategy initially was hack a shack, and now we see them moving in a different direction. All right? So I want to be able to do that and be able to get those particular things done. Let me see if I can read another text before we get out of here, right? So it says, Howard, no one going to jail for my daughter, and I not going to jail to finish them for my daughter. There's too much corruption afoot. This is a text that's coming through, right? Says, and I want to read this one. This is second time this week. This is second time, week to week, that you are making baseless correlations. These recent rape matters are connected or related to related to migrants or migrants in Shanty. You have a responsibility to speak to the facts and statistics of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force and judicial systems and not personal assumptions or grievances. And migration is a big issue, and the shanty towns is the issue as well. But let's not mislead or blame that for the level of crimes. Well, you know, I'm really interested in being able to hear the part you do or the show that you're going to do, because from where I sit, this particular vantage point and the constant correlation of being able to identify strategic areas that has a significant influx of those particular people in our country, it seems to be a correlation. And I make no particular assumption. I just put the question out there. Don't fight me. Let's talk. If we're going to talk about being able to right size our country, it cannot be a conversation regarded of being able to have this kind of hedge of to protect the feelings and the emotions of all these particular persons without being able to get to the core of what the real issue is. Don't fight me. I know that we live in a space where this sort of an idea of you projecting what you desire and being able to speak plenty will be a reality, but that's not what it is. We are going through hell, and we need to find out where the catalyst of this is so we can out that fire. And the conversation is, if this is in the shanty town, then we're going to rectify that also. Don't fight me. Contribute to the conversation. Not with a condescending tone, with the contribution that says, maybe we should look in this particular direction. So I look forward to your podcast, my brother, my sister, I don't know who texts this, right? Let's be very clear about these particular things. So it says, Howard, they travel like that because their parents do the same. We have ghettofied this country. One time traveling was classy. It is a wild thing, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know whether or not it's ghettoifying it. I don't know whether or not this is something that persons have taken on to be able to be this casual thing. But the only thing that I see, the absolute only thing that I see as it relates to being able to move forward is a very clear understanding that social media has taken over the minds. The desire for comfort has superseded the understanding for being able to apply themselves accordingly. I don't know. And then you'll still have information to indicate that, this is one of the most productive generations. I don't know how. I want to talk a little bit deeper about that, a little bit more about these particular things, because I need to get to the core of this. And to that texture that indicate the unjustified correlation, right? Or the speculation thereof, I did my portion. I was able to reach out to the Royal Bahamas Police to get the accurate information. So the questions I have are the same questions that you have. Is there a correlation? Have we identified these particular things? And today, we have Chief Superintendent Kristen Skippings is going to be able to give us, and she's brought her colleagues with us, to give us more information on what's happening as it relates to crime and this significant increase of. Now, for most parts, we want to be able to lather it in science and reject the sort of an idea if we can't feel, touch, and identify these things. We reject the idea of any spirituality, but I say there got to be something bigger than this. There got to be something going on. And I want to get to the depth of it. So at the 1 o'clock hour, when we get back from the news and when we get back from the commercial breaks, we're going to be able to sit down with none other than Chief Superintendent Kristen Skippings, and she's going to be able to give us more information. She's the Director of Public Relations out of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and we're going to be able to get a wealth of information and knowledge as to exactly how we can navigate these things. Because this is not a casual thing. This is real. And it's time for us to understand our path and responsibilities as society. This is wild. I want to commend the Royal Bahamas Police Force for being able to identify the indecency that existed in Somersetville, where this place was, where you say you live. Somerset Estates. 42-year-old indecent. My God. It's just bananas for me, guys. I just want to be able to talk like this and be able to talk with the level of transparency. So it says, wow, Howard, it's like a plot out of a movie. The real betrayal playing out of an actual reality in the Bahamas. Okay, this is a serious coincidence. Wow, this is crazy. And then they send me a clip. I'm going to be able to look at those clips and be able to make a determination as to exactly what we're going to do. Guys, let me take this commercial break, get to news, and be back after this.
Foundation. Foundation.
The Foundation. We'll be back right after this.
The foundation. The foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
Answers are hard to find. Crime is a concern, and Bahamians are uncertain about the future of the country. There is one paper you can rely on as your source of news and commentary. The Nassau Guardian delves deeper into the issues. We ask the tough questions. We tell your stories. If you haven't already, pick up a copy today. The Nassau Guardian. News and views that matter since 1844.
Guardian Radio and the Foundation are on the move.
Bahamas, this one's for you.
SBT, Small Business Thursday. The Foundation with Howard Grant will highlight small businesses throughout the country, far and wide. Your products, services, prices, and personality. We want to hear it all. Get your 30 or 60-second advertisement heard on air at a fraction of the cost. We here at the Foundation understand the times and don't want you to be left behind. With Guardian Radio, you reach your specific demographic and it is unmatched.
We reach thousands daily.
Get your products off the shelf and your services in their hearts. Small Business Thursdays with the Foundation, only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. For more information, call 302-2300 or our line at 827-0111. SBT, Small Business Thursdays. Get your business moving today.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. 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 The foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company, the Foundation, on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon, August 1st, live and in full effect. I don't know whether or not it's still, because I'm in the studio, so I don't know if it's still raining outside. But if it is, I want you guys to stay safe and ensure that you do all you have to do as it relates to navigating and circumventing and ensuring that you don't fall into those, those craters that is in the road. Praise God. We can talk deep about it, right? We're going to be decent as possible as we get into these things. I promised you clarity. I promised you sort of an opportunity to be able to identify from a statistical standpoint and a hands-on standpoint to be able to see exactly what's happening with crime, with this significant increase of sexual assaults in our community. I promised you that we would have someone from an official standpoint. Chief Superintendent Chrislyn Skippings is here with us today. She's the Director of Public Affairs and Communications over at the Royal Bahamas Police Force. And also she's bringing on one of the persons to get some radio exposure. I don't know what this is the first time you're doing this today, but Sergeant Comer is here with us also, being able to talk about these things. Say good afternoon to the Bahamian people.
Good afternoon, Mr. Grant. And good afternoon, Bahamas.
Good afternoon. How you doing? Good afternoon. It's good to see you.
Good afternoon, Bahamas. Good afternoon, Mr. Grant. Nice to be here as well.
Guys, I really do appreciate you taking the time out. I know that you're extremely busy. I know that you said you had like a meeting to go to, and I want to thank you so very kindly because there is an increased sort of position in our country that we're trying to figure out what is happening. What is happening with this significant increase as it relates to sexual offenses that's going on? Yesterday was sort of I don't know whether or not that was the incident, the straw that broke the camel's back, but it continues to be able to, all eyes are now kind of affixed to what's happening from this particular standpoint. Give us some information about that.
Well, what I want to say, it's an unfortunate situation that occurred, and it's going to take the entire Bahamas to come together to fix what's going on.
I like that.
The entire Bahamas. I'm not going to go into the incident in detail, but I want, because I sent out a press release on that following the incident. And what I want to say to the Bahamian people, crime occurs because of three main reasons. Three main reasons. It's something that we call the crime triangle. The opportunity must present itself. There must be a suitable or a suitable target. And there must be something of value. So we're talking about the opportunity. We're talking about a suitable target, and then there must be something of value. We call those the elements of crime. If you remove one of the elements, crime cannot occur. What we see happening in our country mostly are crimes of opportunity. And might I say crime is down. However, there's a concern about the sexual assaults matter, the sexual assault. If we as a people pay attention, we remain on the alert at all times, we can prevent some things from happening. Let me draw your attention for a moment. All of us travel the world. It's summer now. And Bahamians are traveling. I can assure you they are on high alert. If they're traveling with their children, they have their children's hands clasped in their hands. Or they have them holding on to that, but they're holding them either around their shoulders. They have them close.
This heavy what you said.
As they're traveling.
This heavy what you said. There is an expectation externally because we've been ingesting information from America for a long time. There's teeth children. Hey, watch out now.
You understand me?
There's teeth. It doesn't matter what color he is. He might get teeth. Stay here.
Okay. Around the world.
Around the world.
And so we are on high alert. When we reach into our, at the boarding gate, I should say.
Absolutely.
At our main national airport. We are on high alert.
You didn't give them the talk from home. You said, look here, we get into Miami. When you go on this plane, you ain't making no noise. You start from the airport. When you go in the back of TSA, keep still. You ain't doing this. Because we understand this is what you got to do. But we slack home. I want to hear and talk about this.
I'm going to come home.
I want to hear with it. Now let's go.
Because we're on high alert. Even with our handbags. And let me say, when we travel, we're loaded. I think that's the most money Bahamians ever have when we travel.
You know it. You know it.
When we're home, we have no money.
We got it.
But we're traveling, we got it. But we are on high alert. We travel abroad, we get our rental. And when we get our rental vehicles, as simple as putting the luggages in the back trunk of that vehicle, everybody's eyes and ears and everything, we're on high alert.
That's heavy what you said. I never considered this.
Listen to me good.
I never considered this. Because every time I go to the States, I see this guy trailing me one time. I stop my car. I say, well, this fella look like he trying to rob me.
Okay.
I'm on high alert.
You on high alert?
I ain't home.
No.
Okay, talk to me.
You on high alert. On top of that, and mind you, I didn't say you get a little medium-sized car. I say you get your van.
No, I just go SUV.
See, that's what I'm talking
I
about.
got a big boy. Gas ain't cost nothing. We can drive that.
You understand me?
Okay, good.
So we get that and then we go shopping. And we have all sorts of bags.
My God.
I mean, we are loaded down.
My God.
When we're coming out of the shop, and I'm not going to call any of the stores, but you know, they have the trolleys and then they have those other trolleys. And we have those stacked right up to the top.
My God.
We're looking around in the parking lot, looking for anyone that may be suspicious. Everyone is a suspect when we travel. From there, we go to our hotel room. We pull up to the hotel. We're looking around.
Right around.
All around. We don't. By the time we get to once we reach, we've taken that key out of that ignition. We're not standing in the parking lot having a conversation in our car, calling someone, talking to them. We're not. We're telling our family members, listen here. You all quickly take these things out of the van and let's get inside the hotel.
Well, let's have to check it.
After we done check it.
Yeah, because you don't check it, only one person can go on the road.
Only one person, yeah. You know how we all do it. You know just how you all do it.
How many people in the room with you?
You understand me?
Hey man, I'm with you. You sound like you did this a couple times.
No, but see, when I travel, because I'm a police officer, I pay attention.
Yes.
And I watch my fellow Bahamians as they travel and what they do. And let me tell you, they do not, I don't know how, it takes them less than a minute to get all their bags out of the vehicle or out of that van, and everybody's inside the hotel safely. Tell me something, Mr. Grant. Very rare do you hear of a Bahamian being robbed when they travel.
We find it peculiar if it happens, We do. We find what they was doing.
Right.
Where were you?
Yeah.
Why did this happen? Who you was hanging? We assess the whole situation because we travel all the time.
All the time.
Almost $2 billion annually in the American economy in 2019, and before that. This is what we spend. This is what we leave in the American economy. We travel all the time.
And you limited it just to our friends in the North. But we have
all over the world.
All over the world. But yet when we come home, our children when we're abroad, they don't come out of our sight at no time.
No time.
Even if they're going in the hotel swimming pool, there is a responsible adult that's present.
Do you think that this sort of this laid back? Okay, go ahead.
Let me finish bringing it because I want to come home.
Let me hear it.
Because we do all these things when we travel abroad. Why is it that when we are home in our country, we cannot practice the same safety measures to prevent some things from happening? We go and we shop, and we come out of the store, we sit in the car, in the parking lot of the business establishment, we talk on the phone, we don't pay any attention. We pull up to our homes, we sit in the car, and we talk, and suspect come, we get robbed. Why is it that we can't follow the same safety precautions that we follow when we travel? We do not leave space for an opportunity to exist. At that time when we're traveling, we are a suitable target because we have money. But because of our vigilance and because we're always on the alert, we minimize ourselves becoming a target. If we were to practice those same safety precautions that we practice when we travel the world, we will minimize and even in some instances prevent some of these things from happening.
But do you think that the idea that exists in terms of why we're laid back and not as vigilant as we should be is because we're home? There's an idea that says, we're home. We're home, baby. I know this environment. I grew up here in this area, and I know these fellas around here. I know these people around here. And as soon as they drop their guard, they find themselves susceptible and open to an opportunity like this. Talk to me about that.
I just feel like we get too comfortable. Like Chief Woman Skipping say, when me in the States, we all, I got to be careful. I don't be a statistic.
Yeah.
And me whom we think, I grew up in this area. I know these people. However, we have had experiences where people come out of the community to your community because that's easy picking. He doesn't know me. I could go and I could rob him his vehicle and nothing will come out of it. He don't know me. I can get away with it. But it goes back. We need the same practices we practice when me in the States or abroad, we need to do over here. Because our society, we have started to become more Americanized, for lack of a better term, where people understand, okay, man, the States, they doing this, they getting away with this. I want this flashy car, I like this. He have it, I don't have it, let me go get it. So.
That's what's happening in our society now?
That's my view on it.
Just people looking at things. And because they want it, they ain't working for it because that was the nature of who we are as a people. The nature of who we are as a Bahamian people, collectively, was hard workers. And extremely prideful. We never ask nobody for nothing. We ain't begging nobody for nothing. We can work for what we need, no matter how long it take. We can get our things and it can be ours. And so now that culture is shifting. Talk to me about that.
Just before I let him answer that, I want to say to you the question you asked before. Are we comfortable? Too comfortable. We've changed. The country has changed. We have a lot of persons going off, they're studying abroad, they're coming back. You now have social media, people viewing the world, seeing exactly what's happening. Things have changed. So you cannot be comfortable the way you should be anymore. I'm not trying to panic anyone, but I'm saying our approach and the way that we deal with things now have to be different. When I grew up, we were able to be outside and play. Well, I couldn't come out in the street. Daddy never allowed that. Out the yard, that was a problem. If we came out of the yard, there was a neighbor then who would, before Daddy got home, he already know that we were in the street and we would have gotten a whipping.
Well, that actually speaks to the community that existed.
The community, right. The community back then looked out
For each other.
for each other.
Yeah.
The community today, it's coming back together, but somehow we've lost that closeness that we once had many years ago.
Because nowadays it's more like a competition, in my opinion. Or my neighbor got a new car, they paint their house, I got to paint my house too. I'm not going to be outshined by my neighbor.
Wow.
If we go back, I should say, to where it was the village raising the child, our communities will come back. Is it doable? Definitely. We can. We just need to put the work in to get it done. Let me say this to you. When good people do nothing, I think that's the saying. Things happen when people sit back and just watch. It's now time for everybody to come together and pull the communities and our country back together. And it can only be as good as the weakest link in the community. Everybody has a role to play.
I want to commend you guys. I want to commend the Royal Bahamas Police Force for the initiative. I know that the information came out on the weekend about the incident with a 9-year-old being sexually assaulted and found on
Spikenard Road and Carmichael Road.
Spikenard Road and Carmichael. And within less than, 48 hours, you had the perpetrator or the alleged perpetrator. And, there's a sigh of relief that is being breathed to know that the Royal Bahamas Police Force is being able to deal with these matters with the type of urgency that we receive the information. Because when we read it, like I said you before you came here, this is my daughter. I mean, I don't know these people, children. I don't know you. But all I know is my daughter's a baby too. And I don't go to jail. I don't go to jail.
And that's how every citizen ought to be looking at this incident. This type of behavior is unacceptable, and we're going to deal with it. I want to commend the Bahamian people who continuously provide information to us as it relates to crime and all the matters that happen in the country. Everybody, however, has to make or play their role in the fight against crime. As I always say, you can remain anonymous, but call and give us the information. And so based on what the public has given us, we were able to take some persons into custody. And we are actively and aggressively investigating. We've also sent out a photograph with regards to a person of interest who would we like to talk to. There's a sketch artist, a sketch photo that we sent out. And so I want members of the public, if you see anyone that resembles that sketch, I want you to reach out to the fine men and women at the Criminal Investigations Department at 502-9991 or 2, or you can contact police at 911 or 919, or you can even go into the nearest police station and provide the information. And not just in this particular incident, but every incident, we want you to reach out. Make your best contribution, because at any point in time, someone in your family can actually become a victim.
You have a crime app?
Pardon me?
Is there a crime app?
There is an app. let me see if I can. Let's see.
I only asked you that because you said you have a picture that was sent out. How do you get these pictures? Persons who want to be a part of the network to know exactly what's going on.
It's on our police page.
Okay.
We do have our Facebook page as well.
Mm-hmm.
We sent it out to the media groups as well, who have done a fantastic job placing it on their websites.
Mm-hmm.
We also sent it to the various social media sites as well. And so we do have that information. We do have it in circulation, and we try to get these out as soon as practicable.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. So not necessarily an app, but we go all the way through. You can go on Facebook and find a police page, Royal Bahamas Police Force page, and you can also be able to get that in your WhatsApp groups and whatnot. I don't know, because people want to be connected. You know, the distance that you have. You know, people may not be here. You know, traveling and so forth and so on. They want to know what's going on in the area, right? If I am in Fort Lauderdale, if I am in Orlando, if I'm in California, Texas, I need to know what's happening in my area. Right? So I'd like to know a little bit more about that, and I'd like to know about these community initiatives that I see you guys have been doing.
You mean in terms of crime and it's happening? Well, let me say
you got community policing and some other stuff like that you've been doing.
Wonderful. We have urban renewal.
Yeah.
We do have the neighborhood policing officers. Yeah. We do also have the school resource officers as well. All of those are in the community, and I would encourage residents to utilize the urban renewal centers. If you feel a little bit intimidated of coming into the police station, or you don't feel comfortable, you don't want your neighbors to see you coming to the station to provide information, you can go into the Urban Renewal Center. We do have police officers there as well, and you can make your best contribution in the fight against crime. Mm-hmm. And so those are other avenues. We also have our Gmail account where persons can also email if they don't want to come in. And
There's a fear. There is this perpetuation of crime that's happening in our community. A lot of persons will see something, but there is an unspoken idea that not necessarily if you see something, say something, but if you see not something, you play like you don't see.
Yeah.
I ain't getting nobody business. Ain't nobody coming around my house and shooting me in, because that has been the escalation of crime and the level of crime that we've seen in our country. We've seen those persons who try to be good citizens snuffed out. We've seen those persons in our community who want to be able to speak on behalf of someone, not make it to court, so forth and so on. So how do you ensure the safety of those persons who have a desire and information to provide to you?
Well, and that's why you always hear me say there's Crime Stoppers, where you can also remain anonymous.
Yeah.
But even with court persons who may have witnessed something, there is also something where they can actually provide information without their true identity being revealed. Persons have to believe in their Royal Bahamas Police Force. Throughout this country, everybody in this country knows someone on the Royal Bahamas Police Force whom they can reach out to, who they feel comfortable with, who they know are confidential, that they can provide
That's heavy that
information
you say
to.
that.
Everyone in this country.
You know somebody.
Not just somebody, you know a police officer who you have the confidence in.
By name.
That you can provide information to.
I agree with
I'm asking you to utilize that means of information and get the information to us so that we can remove the firearms, the drugs, and those persons who seek to engage in criminal activity on a regular basis and try to disrupt our good communities.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's in studio with us today, none other than Chief Superintendent Kristen Skippings, Director of Public Affairs and Communication, also Sergeant Culmer. They're going to stay with us. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into it. I see that some calls are coming through. They told me that we can take some calls, no problem. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300-5720, or hit me up on the text, 422-4796. Let me take this quick commercial break and be right back after this.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
The Foundation. We'll be back right after this.
The foundation. The foundation.
At Alive, we believe that every common loftier goal is within our reach. We believe in the essence of our identity, the richness of our history, and the boundless potential that lies within us. That's why our network is built by, owned by, and managed by us. Alive, believe in Bahamians. Visit BeAlive.com to take advantage of our Golden Independence deals. Alive, believe in best.
A lot of folks are wondering, what is the Agrarian Awards? It's an award show to celebrate the people who produce the food that feeds the country. So September 16th, we're giving out trophies and money to young farmers, backyard farmers, sheep runners, goat herders, pea pickers, onion planters, basically everyone. But we couldn't fit all that on the invite, so we put Agrarian Awards instead. Go to adobahamas.org to find out how to nominate your favorite agrarian. The Agrarian Awards, September 16th.
Attention all beauty enthusiasts. Perfect Tone, your go-to destination for restorative skincare, is on the move. Famous for flawless results within 30 days, Perfect Tone is relocating to the shops of Southwest Carmichael Road. Now is the time to get the skin you've always dreamed of, removing dark spots, acne, and oily textured skin for good. For more information and updates, follow us on social media or visit our website at ptskincare.com.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation, on this beautiful August 1st. In here in the studio with me, none other than Chief Superintendent Kristen Skippings, Director of Public Affairs and Communication, and also Sergeant Culmer, all both from Affairs and Communications from the Royal Bahamas Police Force, being able to give us the skinny, the 911, the 411 on, you know, I'm from the 90s when I start to say things like the 411, it's too much, right? But you know that they're giving us the depth and detail of how we have to be vigilant in our environment, the responsibility that we have to the environment. I want to read a text, and then I want to be able to get into some telephone calls. I see you guys give me a telephone call. So there's a text that came through that says, we're no longer in 1952. We are free. I pay taxes for security. It sounds like excuses to me. Should I expect to get raped on the outside when I walk in? I just want to be able to read this, and I want to touch it like this. It's very peculiar that we have this particular view of life. Sergeant, I don't want y'all necessarily to be able to take on this particular thing. I want to talk like this. It's very peculiar that we take on this view of life, and we exclude the idea of the community that we have a responsibility to. Let's just be very clear about that. The community that we enjoyed was not based upon what we paid. It was based upon the relationships that existed there to ensure that even when I'm not there, let's think about this. Hypothetically, I live behind the gate, right? There's a security at the gate. But there's also, I pay a tremendous amount of money to live behind this gate. The security's at the gate. And even after I get inside the gate, there is community watch inside the gate. This is bananas. It doesn't matter how much you pay for security. Security is about relationships and to ensure that you're always safe in these environments. I want to say that. I just wanted to say that. Okay? I wanted to kind of put that out there because I think we have the responsibility of understanding that community is paramount for us to be able to see it through that particular lens. I want to put that on the table for you. Go ahead.
Community relationships are what actually is going to pull the country back together. That's it. Let me just say this. Persons involved in criminal activity and the drug trade, listen to me carefully.
Mm-hmm.
They smuggle drugs from the south.
Mm-hmm.
How does it get to the north and further beyond?
Community.
And what do they do?
They know their cousin, their auntie, somebody's calling this and this and this and this. That's community.
They network.
All right. That's the network right there.
That's a network.
All right.
For illegal activity, even with firearms. They network.
But we don't think that's necessary. Our network is for the 10% VAT that we pay. and there's an expectation that you do all these particular things, that we don't have a part to play in that. But when we have a conversation about illegal immigration, we always exclude places like Harbor Island, not Harbor Island, places like Spanish Wells and Long Island, because they have a network. And the network indicates that there's somebody coming, and they all go on the shores.
They work.
We separate ourselves from this. I just want to be decent when I put it on the table.
And that's
like that.
why crime exists. Everybody must play an integral role in the fight against crime. The church has its role. The school has its role. The civic groups have their role. The community, everybody.
Everybody.
It's not going to go away unless we come together. Unless persons take this approach, this zero tolerance approach. And parents and mothers in particular, you know your child is not working.
Talk to me.
You know your child is not working.
Talk to me.
But your child is driving a 2020 Honda Accord.
My God.
Your child is bringing you a 65-inch flat screen TV home.
My
I
God.
bought this for you.
And the plastics.
In the plastic. But you know your child is not working. So where did it come from?
God bless my child. My God.
What a special blessing.
My good child. My good son. Talk to me. That's how it starts.
Parents have to go back to being parents whom their children can respect and look up to.
Just heavy what you did.
Crime will continue if parents, when they fail to be parents and
It's the
stand
same
up for that which is right.
It's the same parents around the court steps yelling, "Nato! My good baby!" They yelling. TJ! They yelling.
You know, the other day I spoke at the launch of a support group for families of murdered victims. And at that launch, there were mothers who indicated that they saw the signs of what their children were into.
And ignored it.
And reality set in at the yellow line for many of them.
The yellow line would say, "Do not pass.
Do not cross.
Do not cross. This is police investigation." My God. That's heavy what you did there. Can I take a telephone call?
Sure.
Let's take a telephone call. Ladies and gentlemen, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, or hit me up anywhere for the Family of Islands. You can hit me up 242-300-5720, or text me 422-4796. Caller on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Hi, Mr. Grant.
Hi, how you doing?
How are you, sir?
I'm fantastic.
Beautiful, and to your guests, Miss Skippings and the Sergeant. I am very concerned and very confused about what I'm hearing right now. Mr. Grant, did you say that the culprit, the monster who violated and raped that little baby, was caught? But did I hear Ms. Skippings saying that he was not caught? I'm really, really confused.
In the papers today, the papers indicate a story today that, let me see if I can read the headlines for you. It says, suspect 42 in custody in relation to the sex attack on the girl.
So what is Ms. Skippings saying,
Go ahead,
please?
Ms.
So let me just clarify. When a crime is committed, persons give us information. We act on the information that is given. If we act on the intelligence that is given and we find out that that person is indeed not the person that we are looking for, then we release and we start over again. So in essence, what I'm saying to you is that we're still looking for the perpetrator involved.
So
initially, the call that came in was that this was the suspect. Am I clear, ma'am?
No, she's left.
She's left.
Yeah, she left us. So it says, but that's what the very clear indication was. It was a suspect.
And it was as a suspect. And people need to understand that when we say suspect, it's as the name implies. You're a suspect. It doesn't say that you are guilty. The courts would deal with that part. But whenever a crime is committed and members of the public call in, we will arrest and we will question. And if we find that there's insufficient evidence to proceed with a charge against that person is released.
So what do you need from the Bahamian public right now in terms of being able to identify any further suspects or anything to do
Like I
with it?
indicated, we sent out a flyer
Okay.
yesterday.
You sent out a flyer yesterday?
Yesterday we sent out a sketch.
Okay.
And I'm asking members of the public,
Okay.
if you see anyone
Okay.
that resembles that individual
And the skyline. Make sure.
in the white skyline, we're asking you to call us. It doesn't have to be definitive, but call us. Let us do our investigations.
Yeah.
So that we can find the evidence that we need to link person to crime.
Let's be decent. Mechanics out there, guys, if you're listening and you're a mechanic and you've been fixing some skylines lately, you know they always have a problem with something. You can make sure you can be able to reach out. Especially if you know anything about that, if you live in the southwestern part of Nassau and you've been doing anything with the skyline or you know a skyline, please reach out to the crime number, 502-9991 or 502-9992, or hit them up 911 or 919, and you can be able to check them out on the police pages and find out more information and see the suspect sketch and whatnot. Be a part of being able to capture this guy, man. We had enough of this.
And also what I want to say, there may have been persons who may have been traversing that area
Yeah,
on, I think that was Saturday afternoon.
Saturday afternoon.
You may have just been on a normal drive.
Long ride in
Long
Cowpen.
ride. You may have been in that area.
Which is a sweet thing. Yeah, you saw something.
Understand me?
Yeah.
And you may have seen something. It's your responsibility as a citizen to come forward and say something.
Yeah.
Even family members who may know.
Yeah.
Or you may have seen the little child.
That's heavy what you say there. Family members who may know. Talk to me. Talk to me. That's heavy what you're saying there. Family members just know.
Call your police department. It may happen against someone else.
For your indecent cousin in the
But it
skyline.
can also come home to haunt you.
My God.
We've got to move away from this where we're covering up for crime and criminality, and for those who are engaged in criminal activity.
Yeah.
We have to now stand up, and like I said, if we don't stand up when they commit acts towards other people, it's going to haunt you right inside your home.
It's heavy what you say. Let me say you why it's heavy. Because there is always this one person in the family that mama them don't want you to go around by yourself. I know. I'm talking. Am I making sense? Watch out now. Watch out for Junior.
Listen to me. There's always someone in there who your child is saying to you, "Don't leave me here with."
Don't leave me here. Let's hear. Watch out for
Parents,
Junior.
when you hear that, don't leave your child.
Watch out for Junior. No, baby. Who you gonna do? Send who home over there? Who home? Junior? No, baby. Don't send the baby. I ain't gonna watch him. I ain't gonna go out today. You know why? Because parents and the family identifies the indecency. The family identifies something that's off with this particular person. And no one wants to take that chance. And someone right out there right now know exactly who this person is.
Somebody knows.
This ain't no game. Someone out there right now.
Men who are supposed to be protecting, looking out for the darlings of the nation. And I don't mean, because we have some very, very fine, decent young men. And I applaud those men throughout the Commonwealth of
I
the Bahamas.
appreciate you. Thank you very much.
I applaud you all for your
I
stand.
feel like you're talking to me. Let's go. I like it, right?
You understand me? Yeah, for your good work too. Yes.
Oh my God,
You
come on, talk to
understand
me, right?
All the good, decent men who stand up to be role models for the young men in this country. I
Yeah.
applaud you all.
Yeah.
But I'm going to challenge you to find at least one male child who you can motivate.
Yes.
And who you can be a role model for to make change in our country. But I want this fella who violated this young lady.
I like that.
And I want him now. And some of you who are listening to me, you know. And you're saying, "Oh, I don't want to get involved." You saw something. You saw that car pull to a corner.
Yes.
You saw that child come out of that car, and at the time you may not have known what was going on. But if you saw something, man, even call me or WhatsApp me, inbox me on Facebook, on Messenger. Let's get this suspect off the streets.
I like it, ladies and gentlemen. The numbers again, 502-9991 or 502-9992, or hit them up 911 or 919. Anyone will be able to take that information. Chief Superintendent Skipping said something that kind of hit home with me because I started to think about it. We all know someone in the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Make that call. Make that call to a friend, to a family member, to someone that you know, to the police officer that speaks well, that continues to be able to engage you in the barbershops, in the salons, so forth and so on. Make that telephone call and let's get this person off the streets today. We've had enough of it. Let me take the next telephone call. Caller, you on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Howard.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
Good afternoon, lady, mama, sister, Skipping. How are you today?
I'm awesome. How are you?
Well, I am just awesome. This is a powerful service today. This ain't the radio now. This is service because this is ministry today for the nation. Now, this is your girl we share the same two sons.
This sounds like Marsha to me.
The one and only.
Okay, this is Marsha. Go ahead.
Will Shire and Tashima's mother.
Hi. Yes.
See, that's your two sons, right? Am I right about it?
That's correct. Yes, that's correct. Yes.
That's right. Well, I'm not going to hold you all up long because I know you have a lot to get to, but I just want to commit myself to you and my time as I'm a retiree. Whenever you need boots on the ground, Howard got my number. You can reach out to me, and I will be there with you to do whatever that by any means necessary to rescue the perishing and care for the dying.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
See, we have to get involved, like Dr. Orr said. Get involved, because we just never know when it will be our time. I have one precious pearl. My precious little girl, grandbaby. But she's not here. She's in Canada. But anything can happen anywhere.
Yeah.
And I pray that the Lord will continue to bless the Royal Bahamas Police Force with persons at the helm such as yourself, Sister Skipping, and all of our fine officers and militant persons in this country like Howard and all of us who are trying to continue to make it better in the Bahamas. Because when incidents like these start continuously happening, the visitors will not look at the Bahamas as it being better in the Bahamas. And I'm a tourism-oriented person from the Ministry of Tourism, where I've worked for 20-plus years. And we need to have those visitors continuously coming here, and we need to have our own civilians and our native persons who can feel comfortable and feel safe in their own homes, in particular the elderly and the vulnerable and the children of the nation. They are the future. So I'm going to end with that. And like I said, Howard got my number. He can give it to you, and you could link with me at a later moment in time when we can connect. And whenever you need me, like Michael Jackson say, I'll be there.
You need to stop it, Marsha. Thank you so very kindly. It's great to hear from you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take this quick commercial break right here on The Foundation and be right back after this.
The Foundation.
The Foundation. We'll be back right after this.
The Foundation. The Foundation.
Come celebrate Independence the BK way with our new Independence King combo. Enjoy a flame grilled beef patty topped with with savory bacon, arugula, crisp onion rings, and our special tropical sauce on a brioche bun. Served with fries and a drink for a flavor sensation fit to celebrate every year. Top off the Independence celebrations with our new guava sundae or frozen guava lemonade. Our Independence King combo and treats are available for a limited time at Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
You've tried everything. ASUS with your mother's cousin's sister's auntie, and even hiding your money under your mattress. But is your money safe? Your Bahamian dollar deposit in a member bank or credit union is insured up to $50,000. If anything happens, your deposit up to the insured value will be returned to you thanks to Deposit Insurance. Visit Deposit Insurance Corporation at www.dic.bs.
Protection for your money guaranteed with DIC.
Guardian Radio and the Foundation are on the move.
Bahamas, this one's for you.
SBT, Small Business Thursdays. Every Thursday, the Foundation with Howard Grant will highlight small businesses throughout the country, far and wide. Your products, services, prices, and personality. We want to hear it all. Get your 30 or 60-second advertisement heard on air at a fraction of the cost. We here at the Foundation understand the times and don't want you to be left behind. With Guardian Radio, you reach your specific demographic, and it is unmatched.
We reach thousands daily.
Get your products off the shelf and your services in their hearts. Small Business Thursdays with the Foundation, only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. For more information, call 302-2300 or the Help Me Howard line at 827-0111. SBT, Small Business Thursdays. Get your business moving today.
At Ron's Electric Motors, they repair and rewind all major brands of electric motors, including water pumps, generators and the generator's back end, welding machines, electric lifts, air compressors, battery chargers, and more. They're equipped to handle up to 850 kilowatts and rewind up to 450 horsepower motors. They're conveniently located on the corner of Wolf and Clarence Roads and are open weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays till noon. They offer 24 hours emergency assistance. You can reach them at 242-356-0249.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. 5 minutes left in the show. I thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank all your calls. If you want to be able to call in here, I'm in the studio with me, Chief Superintendent Kristen Skippings. She is the Director of Public Affairs and Communication for the Royal Bahamas Police Force. And also joining her is Sergeant Culmer, being able to give us some great information and some insight about how we are, slacking off on our diligence socially and not being able to take care of these things. Some steps that she's given us to being able to ensure that we can be able to rectify some stuff from a social standpoint. And 3 things that took away from me, 3 main reasons of crime: opportunity, suitable target, and value. Let's talk about this. Opportunity, suitable target, and value. The opportunity existed this weekend. We've seen some stuff. The 9-year-old who was viciously, can I say that? Absolutely viciously violated and taken the innocence of a flower this weekend by an absolute indecent human being. It might even be a demon. We don't even know. But if you have any information on this Nissan Skylark, please be able to reach out to 502-9991, 502-9992. Hit them up, 911 or 919. Please be a participant in being able to right size and right angle this society. We've had enough of that. I can let y'all be able to wrap up in these last few minutes and put some stuff out there, because a lot of things have been happening, and we just need to know where the Royal Bahamas Police Force on this is. Chief Superintendent, go ahead.
So what I also want to say real quickly, as I know we're nearing the end of the show, I want the Bahamian people to be extremely careful when you place photos of people who you may suspect of being responsible for a crime on social media. We don't need you putting anybody photo out there which will threaten their safety or create fear. It is an offense that is punishable by law. If you suspect that someone is responsible for a crime, I want to encourage you to go into the Criminal Investigations Department, take the photo or whatever information you have and take it there, as we are the only authorized agency to put wanted bulletins out for suspects. We're the only person. And so I want to say that emphatically, because should something happen to an individual who you, without consulting with the police department, or you just put that photo, then something happens to that individual, you will find yourselves before the court. Secondly, whenever an incident occurs, members of the public, we're asking you to report the matter immediately to the police. You could launch, you could ask your own questions afterward, but I'm asking you, make sure that you go into the nearest police station and report the matter immediately. As a law enforcement agency, we're here to protect you. We're here to assist you. And so I'm asking you, reach out to us, go into any police station, ask to speak with the commander of the police station, sit down, have a conversation with him, and let him help you strategize ways in order to make your community a safer place for everyone.
Chief Superintendent Kristen Skippings, I want to thank you so very kindly for joining us today here on the Foundation. We are grateful for what you've brought. A lot of persons want to hear more specifics as it relates to strategy, but I believe that we were impactful today. Sergeant Comer, I want to thank you for being able to join her also and being able to speak to the Bahamian people about the steps that we can take in terms of being able to contribute to being able to get us back on track in this nation in the year of our Jubilee. 502-9991, 502-9992. Hit them up, 911 or 919 to get more information about this suspect. If you know a white Nissan Skylark, listen to me. Skyline. White Nissan Skyline. You know the people who have it. Trust me, let's be very clear about these things. The police is doing a wonderful job. It's time for us to be able to do our part and getting these monsters off the street. Great show today. I want to thank you guys for being able to tune in. Tomorrow, we're going to be able to have a panel discussion and conversation about our posture and position going forward in this nation. I'm sure I'm going to be joined by my good friend Garth Roseborough if he's available. If not, we're going to be able to identify some great people who will be able to contribute. I thank you for being able to do that. Guys, 96.9 FM radio, Howard Grant in your company, The Foundation. I'll see you tomorrow, God spare, right here on The Foundation. Have a great day, guys.